of Communications and Development at Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida. Can everybody see me? I know I'm really short. Can you see me? All right. I know, the pictures are going to look odd, but that's okay. Really excited to have you all here this morning. We know that it has been, we all know this has been quite the year, 2020, and if you're like me, you kind of want to, you can't wait to see it in the rearview mirror, just, wave goodbye to 2020. So we're getting to do that for a little bit because the Breakthrough Awards, we actually celebrate achievements that happen, not to trick anybody, but in 2019. Okay, so don't think we made a mistake, it is true. We are awarding people who have achieved greatness and broken barriers in 2019, and it's this, I say this every time we have our annual awards dinner. This is the reason why I'm here for eons, it seems like eons, but I've been with Goodwill 23 years, and this is my favorite part of what I do. Because when I'm out in the circuit, people inevitably tell me, I don't know what Goodwill does. I know you have great stores and I donate all my things, but what do you guys do? Well, today, this morning, you're gonna see exactly what we do. So go out, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, come take a tour of our facilities, go to the stores and ask, and feel confident when you're donating and shopping that the achievements that you're going to see today, this is why we do it. This is why we have our stores. So I do want to say thank you to the Broadway Palm. You've seen it in the news. Things are in flux, but everybody's moving forward, and I think they've done a great job to pull this together for us. So, and we all want to support local business. So again, happy to be able to have everybody here in a safe environment. Couple of housekeeping things on your table, though. Speaking of our mission, you're going to see our annual report. It looks like this. Okay, please read it. Like I said, we're going to talk about a lot of things today, but you could also read about it and all the success stories and videos that you're going to see today. The written version of it is in our annual report, plus all the wonderful events that we've done throughout the year. You're also going to see, of course you have the program there, you're also going to see a little sheet like this that says Breakfast with the President, and that's John down there. This is really, really a neat program that we have because you get to see behind the scenes what we do. You come to our Opportunity Center, we tell you what we do, and then we take you on a tour. It's a fabulous tour of just how we get the stuff out into the stores, and then you get to visit one of our favorite programs. Not that I'm playing favorites, but we do love Pathways to Opportunity. You did see Jessica out there in the lobby. Jessica, there she is. Wonderful program that we have. She's selling keychains today, so pick up a keychain, Christmas is coming. And other things are just a random gift because it's 2020. Everybody needs a gift. So look at it, think about it, call us if you want to take a tour. Those of you who've been on a tour, you know how wonderful it is. Please tell your friends and neighbors. We can schedule it. The next one is November 19th. And then if you can't make it November 19th, call my department. We'll schedule a day for you. We'll make it special for you. And then just basic, you all know, kind of put your phones on silent, and restrooms are out in the lobby. So without further ado, I would like to introduce John Nato. Yay! I always want to put the French flair to it, and he tells me, no, that's not what it is. But he is our CEO and president, so please welcome John.
Thank you for getting it right. So thank you all for attending. It's great to look out in a room full of people. We haven't really had any events for the last several months. Our board meetings have been kind of virtual. We get 1 or 2 board members to come in and the rest are on Zoom. So it's nice to finally stand up in front of a group of people and say hello. So thank you for attending today. This is actually probably my favorite day of the year because we get to talk about our mission services, and that's really what Goodwill is all about. And I just had a reminder of the challenge that we face in getting that message out. We had a grand reopening of our Palm Beach store last week and had a really nice turnout from the community. We had a couple board members there. We also had the mayor there and the mayor pro tem. And after the kind of ribbon cutting ceremony, we took a tour, and I walked the mayor through the store and explained what we did there. It's a different format for us. It's a 99-cent Goodwill. If you haven't seen it yet, I encourage you to get down and take a look at it. It's really different. It's a really exciting format. And he was really interested in that. But then we went over to what we have in that particular location is a community resource center, which is our rebranded job link, where we bring together different mission services, sometimes with partners, sometimes just our services, and we provide these to the community. And as we were walking along and Fred was explaining what we do for the community, the mayor just kept getting more excited and more excited. And at the end of the tour, he said, well, you should tell people about this. And I said, well, we do. But it's really hard to get that message out because people tend to think of Goodwill as thrift stores, and they forget about all the things we do behind the scenes. So today is the one day that we focus, significantly on our mission services. And I get to be the first one to congratulate all the winners that are here today. You've made quite an achievement, and we're really looking forward to seeing your videos and learning all about your story. That's always a fun part of this thing. Lastly, I'd like to thank our community partners who are here. I see a lot of our key vendors, key business partners, and of course our board of directors. Without the board of directors, none of this would happen. And I really appreciate the support they give our organization throughout their times and efforts and coming in and really giving us their expertise. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my boss, the chairman of the board of directors, Mike Sullivan.
Thank you, John. Hey, I'm taller than you, Carol. I can see you. No, it's a pleasure to be here today, and thank you all for being here. And it's quite an honor to serve on this board. I've been on it for 17 years, and it's quite a hard-working board. It's not a board that meets once or twice a year, and that's it. We have a lot of activities going on, and everybody takes an interest. And so I want to recognize the board members that are here and the past members. If you're out there and you're a board member, please stand forward so people know who you are and see. See Pat Manning, Kathy Spear, Charlene Dozier, and Mrs. Young. Thank you guys for being here. It's all about the mission, and you're going to hear more about that later. But before we get to that and we congratulate our winners, I want to recognize a couple of board members that are here, and in addition, we had some others. We have a few that are leaving our service this year, unfortunately, and I'll read the names. I believe two of them are here. We got Belinda Cowles, Cheryl Gutierrez, James Humphrey, Pat Mann, Chico Rivera, and John Simmons. They all will be leaving service with us, and we hate to lose them. But I'd like to ask Pat and Chico, are you here? I didn't see Chico, but Pat, if you could come up, I know I've seen you. We have a plaque we want to give you, and it'll go to the rest of them also. I'll read it off of this. I can't see that. Pat, this plaque says, in appreciation of your commitment and dedication as a member of the Board of Directors, Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida, Inc., your leadership has directly impacted individuals with disabilities and disadvantages who receive services within the communities we serve, October 2020. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, this year, we experienced the passing of one of our dear board members, Bill Banett. Bill's influence and involvement in this board is immeasurable. And at this time, I think first thing I'd like to do is we have a video that we prepared in his honor, and I'd like to show that. when you look, there's no way to do a complete list and sit here and name all things, but from being dedicated to the mission to helping us with big decisions, from our move from our cramped headquarters over by the old Lee County Electric Co-op to where we are now. A lot of things that he was so involved in. One of the main things that was his baby, as we called it, was the establishment of a foundation where people would have the opportunity through special gifts and bequests to give to Goodwill, and Bill led that foundation. And it continues on today within Goodwill, and it's a lasting dedication to him and for his commitment to us, and he'll be very much missed. At this time, I'd like to introduce Charlene. Do you want to say a few words also? Charlene Dozier, currently on our board. I think she has a few words to add.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to be any place where Goodwill is honored. This morning, I just want to say a few words about Bill Barrett. I remember Bill as a little boy. I first met his parents when they moved to Fort Myers in 1958, and watched Bill grow up, and he has always exhibited the characteristic of being devoted to his family, to anything that he is in as a project. I just want to mention one time in particular when his parents had their 25th wedding anniversary, and they had a big crowd, a wonderful time. Bill was the MC, and he did a great job, but he told a lot of stories, we all did, but when it came time to talk about his parents, there was not a dry eye in the place, because he gave his parents all credit for raising he and his two sisters, Maureen and Colleen, and just you could see where his family and his church meant so much to him, and he felt the same way about Goodwill, because anything he was involved in, he did it 100%, and we are the recipient of his, of all of his energy that he put into his job. We will miss him terribly. We do miss him terribly, because he was so forward-looking and just always there. So we just want to say how much we miss him, and we're happy that we can honor him today. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. Appreciate that. You know, it's from somebody that works at Goodwill, you just can't replace Bill Barrett. It's impossible. If there was a Mount Rushmore of board members, Bill Barrett would be on that Mount Rushmore. He's a tremendous asset. I really miss speaking with him. I miss answering his questions. He was a guy that could ask a really good question, and it caused me a lot of work. It caused Doug a lot of work, but it was always in the right spirit, and it was always with the thought of making Goodwill a better place to be. So you will be missed, Bill. We really felt a tremendous need to honor Bill in some lasting way, and we talked about a lot of things. We had meetings on it. The board members talked to me about it, Carolyn and I and Doug, and a lot about it. We decided, we came up with the greatest way to honor his memory, and that is, now going forward, the Graduate of the Year Award will be the William J. Barrett Award. I think Bill's pleased about that. I think that really honors his commitment to Goodwill. At this time, I'd like to have Lisa, his wife, Matthew, his son, and Maureen, his sister, come up, and we're going to make a presentation to you. I'll get this off to the side so I can read it. In appreciation of your commitment and dedication as a member of the Board of Directors of Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida Incorporated, your leadership has directly impacted individuals with disabilities and disadvantages who have received services within the communities with which we serve. October 2020. Thank you very much. Okay.
It's back to you, John.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Okay. All right, at this point, we're going to move on with our work now, and I'd like to introduce our Vice President of Mission Services. And just let me say a few words about Fred Richards and his whole department. I had the opportunity to work in another Goodwill before I came here, and I've been to many other Goodwills throughout the country, spent a lot of time in other agencies. As far as I'm concerned, Fred and his team are the gold standard for Goodwill, and we're really lucky to have them. And today is a celebration not only of our winners, but of our tremendous leadership in our mission service business, Fred Richards.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate that, as well as our team. So, we're here again. Thank you so much for joining us today, as we honor our breakthrough award winners who embody our mission of offering life-changing opportunities to achieve independence. You know, John was mentioning earlier we had an opportunity to tell the mayor about what we do. I'm going to take the opportunity today to tell you about what we do as well. Whenever we have the podium or the lectern, whenever we're in front of people, it's a great opportunity to share our accomplishments. And today, hopefully you'll walk away as one of our ambassadors and share what we're doing in the community as well. So last year, 2019, we provided services to more than 25,000 individuals through 3 disability programs and 4 community-based programs. 1 out of every 12 individuals that went through our employment or education programs secured a job last year. In addition to those employed, there were 50 individuals that either started or strengthened their business through our microenterprise program after taking the class. In fact, just to give you a statistic, since we started that program in 2010, there's been over 450 businesses that have started or strengthened themselves through that class. Quite an accomplishment. Through our partnership with the Robert and Benjamin Miller Fund, and we have one of our honored guests here today, Mr. Jerry Miller, who supports us. Jerry, thank you so much for being here. And his wife, Sharon. They met with us in 2012, and since then we've been providing a 3-night, 4-day camp experience for individuals with disabilities, adults with disabilities. So important because there's a lot of camps out there for children, but not a lot for the adults. And Jerry and Sharon made sure that when they came from Texas and they moved to Sanibel that they brought that dream and that vision with them. So we have a lot of individuals that were able to socialize for the first time. They were able to fish, to canoe. A lot of things that we take for granted, these individuals don't have an opportunity to do because of their kindness and their generosity. We've been able to do that. So thank you again, Jerry. We really appreciate that. Through our Military Resource Encounter Program, our MRE program for short, we increased the number of veterans and families assisted by 20% compared to the previous year, serving 713 veterans and securing 75 jobs for them and their families. Last year, our Pathways to Opportunity program, our adult day training program that we started in 2014 with just over 14 participants, was expanded to serving 81 individuals last year through their efforts. And this is really important because life skills development stops after high school for individuals with disabilities. We wanted to make sure we filled that gap. And a common theme you're going to hear in a lot of what we're doing is filling those gaps in services. The camp was filling a need in the community. Not only is the camp provided to adults with disabilities, but I have to mention it's free. And our services, all of our services for the most part, are free. With the exception of microenterprise, there's a small fee that you pay for that, but $65 to cover a course that's a $2,500 course is a small price to pay for that award. We also start to redesign our job link centers. As John mentioned, we call them community resource centers now. These sites are co-located within our stores. They'll offer increased office space, digital skills training, and upskilling and certifications, which is so important in today's community. To overcome the language as a barrier, we make sure that our centers are operated by bilingual staff. To overcome the digital divide, which is basically those that have access to computers and computer training and those that do not, I'm happy to say all of our centers provide free access to computers and free digital skills training with an opportunity to obtain a certificate. Last year, we awarded 700 North Star digital literacy certificates. These certificates demonstrate to an employer that an individual possesses the computer skills needed to perform the job. Often, these certificates can not only enhance somebody's resume, they can also lead not only securing a job, but also higher wages. Since the inception of our digital training program, we served nearly 15,000 individuals through one or more of our service levels and our training levels, with 2,000 individuals that either secured a job, attained a career advancement, or earned a higher wage after they left our program. This year, we'll be introducing another new program in our community resource centers called Career Campus. This is a self-paced employment training platform that prepares individuals to secure industry-recognized certifications. Certifications such as a CNA, Microsoft Office, and others, just to name a few of the 11 opportunities people have to earn certificates. We actually partnered with a local healthcare company to make sure that we could offer the CNA program and the RN 22 skill sets that the individuals have to be tested on. That partnership will lead to employment for a lot of and give a lot of opportunities to individuals, not only to secure a job in the healthcare field, which is a growing industry as we all know, and it will continue to grow, but also give them the stepping stone. Once they get their foot in the door, they can go on and continue their education for an LPN and RN, earning higher wages and securing a better life for themselves and their families. Every year we assess our programs, and when necessary, we redesign the programs, as we did with our community resource centers. They should reflect the community needs at that time and the environment at that time, and that's what we do. This year, no need has been greater, and no environment has changed so significantly as ours has since the onset of the pandemic. For the very first time in many individuals' lives, they're faced with unemployment, looming foreclosures and evictions, and isolation. While other providers closed their doors in February and March, we continue to serve people safely, providing critical services, thereby giving the community a lifeline during their greatest time of needs. To give you an example, our Pathways to Opportunity program to reduce isolation and make sure that we were continuing those life skills developments, trainings for individuals with disabilities. Through the generosity of a donor, I think one of the donors is present with us today, from PNC. I want to thank them. We were able to secure Chromebooks, and we actually got our program approved by the state as the very first virtual program delivery. And that's quite an accomplishment. We're serving 40 individuals at their homes. We provided them with Chromebooks, but what's important is it's reducing their isolation. It continues their life learning path so they become as independent as possible. You know, we started the Pathways to Opportunity program after about a year and a half of canvassing the community and talking to stakeholders. And one of the things that we kept hearing over and over again by the parents, what's going to happen to my son or daughter after I'm gone? So that's why we started the Pathways to Opportunity program. As you can see, the themes I'm talking about, filling those gaps, it's so necessary in our community. When we find a gap, Goodwill's there to fill it. That's our goal. Our community resource centers during the pandemic, located in Lee County, and also our neighborhoods, and you're going to be hearing from one of our award winners today, who works at Pine Manor. They continued to safely serve individuals through the COVID pandemic, providing COVID-related services such as filing unemployment claims, helping with these thousands and thousands of Lee Cares applications, making sure people could keep their lights on, that they could pay their rent, that they could stay in a stable home environment. So important. 5,000 individuals were served to date so far, and we're going to continue to do more of that. So in closing today, we're really here to celebrate the accomplishments of our program, but really the accomplishments of those participants and those individuals and businesses that through their actions and efforts have contributed to changing lives. So without any further hesitation, please join me in celebrating our award winners this morning. Thank you so much, everybody.
Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida is proud to present our 2019 Chet Perry Breakthrough Achiever of the Year, Jonathan Herr. Jonathan Herr worked at a Goodwill store back in his hometown in Illinois. When he moved to Naples with his family, he knew he wanted to work for Goodwill again. After visiting all of the Goodwill stores in the area, he chose Heritage Bay as his favorite. So, his parents bought a house near the store. It was up to his Goodwill Pathways to Work job coach, Anez Banett, to help get him hired.
We filled out the job application. I contacted the store manager. I set up an interview for Jonathan with the store manager. And once he interviewed, I knew he was going to get the position because Jonathan knew what he needed to say in order for him to get the job. Jonathan and I practiced mock interview before the interview. We just practiced, what about if she asked you about this and that, or that was it. That's how Jonathan was able to obtain the job.
His strengths are his work ethics. His work ethics are perfect. He's on the go, he's friendly, he's enthusiastic, he's the type of person it's a pleasure to work with. I can't say anything bad about him. He is just a very excellent associate and human being. He really is. He's a very special person.
My favorite good thing in Goodwill is the atmosphere, working atmosphere.
Jonathan takes great pride in a job well done, and he's excited to have learned some new skills and expand his responsibilities. And even though he's been successful on the job, his Goodwill job coach continues to check in to see how things are going.
We assist the employer with whatever needs they're having with the individual, and we also assist the individual with whatever accommodations they're needing in order for them to perform their job and be able to be successful. Our goal is success for both the client and the employer. So that's what Goodwill does.
They're dependable, like I said, hardworking, and they're here to achieve a lifetime goals, and that's through Goodwill.
Jonathan says having work is very rewarding and brings him one step closer to independence.
I'm ecstatic working when it comes to working because I know I got to work with well-managed management team as well as coworkers are pleasant to work with, and the customer really, it's an honor and a pleasure to help them out when I'm working.
I wish I had 20 more of him. He's really, really an asset to the store. He really is. Great associate.
Congratulations, Jonathan. At this time, we're going to introduce Jonathan. Jonathan, please come up, and also Anez Banett, who you saw on the
Jonathan, I would like to present you the Sheriff Berry Award for 2019.
My job coach, my parents. However, I know I left the Goodwill before, and her store manager's name is Charlene Nafol. She's the one that started me in this Goodwill stuff, and not only that, she started with me with customer service training. Later on, she supervised my other training, but she didn't train me in other stuff. I took on the initiative to do other tasks besides that made me what I am today. Thank you.
Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida is proud to present our 2019 William Barrett Breakthrough Graduate of the Year, Leighton Willis. For the past 2 years, Leighton Willis has been employed at Amavita Senior Living in Fort Myers, a job he acquired with help from Goodwill's Pathways to Work program.
My job coach, Ms. Daisy, she helped me out through the process with Goodwill, and I felt comfortable.
Pathways to Work assists youth and adults with disabilities obtain work readiness skills and competitive employment. Leighton's job coach helped him through the entire process, from finding a job to interviewing and on-the-job training once he got the position.
Oh, I think it's great. He picks up things pretty quickly. You just got to show him once or twice, and he's off to the races. He's got the basics down right now, and hopefully, he's starting to pick up more and more, and starting to actually cook some things and make some nice things. So yeah, it's great.
Leighton was doing great with his kitchen skills, but Amavita also requires computer-based training to check with all kinds of competencies working with people in assisted living. So this is where the job coach came in, because he wasn't comfortable with computer skills and doing the training that way. She helped him navigate, become more familiar and confident, and then that way he could do it himself after she had already helped him with several modules.
It's a great system. It helps everybody. I'm sure it helps their morale and it helps our morale. And, like I said, I love working with Leighton. His attitude's great, and can't ask for anything more.
Just be yourself, stay loose, be prepared what's gonna happen to you. You'll climb up the mountain. You'll be great.
When Leighton's not climbing mountains at work, he's helping out his dad, who runs a boxing gym in Fort Myers. Confidently, Leighton shows new students techniques, demonstrating his mastery in the sport, just like how he confidently performs his job duties, demonstrating that he has mastered the skills required. Thanks to a little help from Goodwill, he now has a paycheck, a purpose, and a sense of pride in work well done.
Team Goodwill.
This time, let's honor Leighton. Leighton, you come up and accept your award. And this is the very first year William J. Barrett Award is being awarded, so congratulations, Leighton. Congratulations for all your success. Would you like to say a few words first?
Thanks for getting me here. I've been through a lot, helping my mom out. Sorry. I love you guys. Thank you for helping me. Team Goodwill.
Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida is proud to present our 2019 Breakthrough Employer of the Year, Literacy Council of Gulf Coast. The Literacy Council of Gulf Coast and Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida have shared a long partnership, referring clients to each other and helping people in Southwest Florida with their English language skills and employability to increase their opportunities for success.
And so when we have students who come to us who are looking for jobs or better jobs, then we send them over to Marjorie to JobLink so that she can help them to find some better positions. And then when she gets persons who come in, clients who come to her office in need of some help with English, a little improvement in their English language skills, or if they need a GED, or if they need U.S. citizenship assistance, she'll send them to us, and then we offer ESL classes, and we offer U.S. citizenship preparedness classes, and so we'll help those clients. So it's a wonderful partnership that we've had for many years with Goodwill.
It is this deep belief in helping people overcome challenges that motivated the Literacy Council to not only provide services for those referred from Goodwill. Over the years, they also hired several people who had circumstances that made it difficult for them to find work elsewhere.
It's been really a pleasure. We've had one young lady who had medical issues. She had to deal with cancer and some other medical issues at a very young age. And she had done beautifully with all of her treatment, and we were very happy to be able to step in and give her a very nice job, which worked closely with her schedule. And so it was not like it was too difficult for her to get to appointments and such. And we have another young woman with 5 children, and she's a single mom. And just even not being a single mom, having 5 children is a big challenge. And she's done very well with us because we're very flexible for people with children, and that's really helped our employees to feel comfortable here.
Sue said her employees have been wonderful assets, and she's been happy to help provide opportunity for those with personal struggles. But she credits Goodwill with preparing them to be great candidates for the positions.
Well, Goodwill did a great job, a really great job preparing them, because that's what you do with JobLink services and your services. You help people to prepare to seek jobs and to be prepared to be ready to interview and be successful at that. And frankly, it would have been difficult to hire a person if they did not have those interviewing skills. I think Goodwill did a great job to help prepare them so that they can come on in and then learn more after they were hired here, so they could be even stronger for their next job with more skills.
A common mission of helping people overcome barriers and become more independent.
This time I'd like to bring up your Executive Director, Susan, to come up and accept the award. I've known Susan for many years, and they represent collaboration. They're an organization that collaborates with us. They break down barriers on a daily basis, and we're privileged and honored to work with her and her organization. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you so much, Fred. It's true, I've known Fred for many years in my position at the Literacy Council, and the thing that's so wonderful is that we have collaborated for years together, 2 agencies who really help people to overcome barriers, whether they're disability barriers, disadvantage barriers, or language barriers. And it's been a wonderful collaboration and partnership that we've shared with Goodwill for many years. Thank you so much for this award.
Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida is proud to present our Breakthrough Business of the Year, Piedmont Companies. Location, location, location. That's a term well known in the real estate industry, and no one knows it better than Gary Falkenbury, a commercial development specialist with Piedmont Companies. Based in Lincolnton, North Carolina, the commercial real estate developer has worked in partnership with Goodwill organizations across the country for the past 20 years, and he's been helping our Goodwill over the past 5.
They've been helping us expand our store count. The thing I like about Piedmont is that they really treat us like a partner and not just as a customer. And they really understand Goodwill, they understand the mission of Goodwill. And Gary, who I work with, along with Willie, who's the owner, they have an affinity for Goodwill, so they're a great company to work with.
Gary's innovative thinking and knowledge of Goodwill has helped our organization grow significantly, even with challenges here in Southwest Florida.
In my business, you have to think outside the box these days. There's limited availability of land. The land is extremely expensive here in Southwest Florida compared to other parts of the country.
It took Gary 2 years to find adequate commercial real estate for the Heritage Bay store in that part of Naples. And it was his ingenuity that enabled us to expand our Pine Ridge, Punta Gorda, and Del Prado stores.
He helped us with our Immokalee Road store down in Naples. which has turned out to be a great store for us. Then we moved on to Island Park, where we had a store that was damaged during the hurricane 3 years ago. And they purchased the property from us, renovated it, and then leased it back to us at a very favorable rate for us. He's doing the current store in Naples on Pine Ridge Road, which was an existing store that we're adding on to and renovating. He also did the Punta Gorda store, where we took an old marina building where they sold marine supplies and boats and things and turned it into a beautiful Goodwill that's perfect for the Punta Gorda market. And then we're going to do our Del Prado store over on Cape Coral coming up towards the end of this year, early next year. So he's done a lot of work with us and is a significant part of our portfolio of stores.
By purchasing the property and developing it to suit the needs of a Goodwill retail and donation center, Piedmont is absorbing the expense up front. Then they lease the property back to Goodwill at an affordable rate.
What that's been able to do is it helps the cash standing of your Goodwill, and you don't have to go out and spend your own money for that development. And then, like I said before, we try to provide a lease rate that fits within your budget that you have each store.
Piedmont Companies is moving us forward, overcoming obstacles, and building a stronger future for Goodwill.
This time I'd like to invite Barry up here. Accept the award. Thank you, Barry, for all your partnership.
Thank you for choosing Piedmont Companies to help your Goodwill grow.
Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida is proud to present the 2019 Breakthrough Philanthropist of the Year, Enterprise Holdings. Since 2014, Enterprise Holdings has provided $17,000 in funding to Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida, supporting programs and services that help people with barriers become more independent. Every year, their foundation earmarks a percentage of earnings to go to causes that benefit their customers and employees, and they selected Goodwill.
Years ago, as I got introduced to Goodwill, that was a no-brainer. And once I saw everything that they were doing well and what they could do for the community, I made sure to make it an imperative business decision that we were going to ask for donation funds based off our profits here in Southwest Florida to go back to Goodwill. And I've been very fortunate to be able to increase those funds every single year.
Christine says that as community leaders, they have an obligation to support community organizations that provide programs for those with disabilities. And Goodwill is a critical part of that.
I think a lot of people have misconceptions of Goodwill. They think about the stores and the donation centers, but I don't think they truly understand what Goodwill does. As I got to know Goodwill over the years, and I saw that everything has to do with raising money, whether it's through your stores or any of the other programs that you have to raise money. That money is solely for the purpose to not only employ people with disabilities, but to put programs together to help people with disabilities. And once I saw it firsthand, to me it became very passionate, and part of my passion is to educate the community on what you guys do as an organization and how you give back. And I've sent many other employees to your location to do tours and see some of your great programs, and a lot of them are just wow, they're like, I had no idea.
Christine says that a diverse employee base allows for a large variety of ideas, thoughts, and suggestions to help Enterprise Holdings grow, thrive, and support their customers and employees' needs.
So diversity for us isn't just your color of your skin and your race and your gender. It's all those things that make you different. So it goes well beyond that scope. And we like diversity because we want different thoughts. We want people to contribute different points of view. We feel that over the 60+ years that we've been in business, that was what made us stronger. Our company, we're very decentralized. So a lot of the ideas come from our local operations and those folks that work out in the field. So for example, we're known as the company that picks you up. An employee back in Orlando many years ago saw an unkept need that was out there and started to pick up customers, and now we are known for it.
At this time, I'm going to invite Christine or Patty or both, whoever would like to come up today. I want to thank both of you. They've been a great partner for years. They collaborated with us. They support our mobile unit. That's one program I didn't talk about. Our community resource centers are standstill sites. This mobile unit breaks down barriers to access to services. We can take that anywhere. All we need is a parking lot, a host site. We have a generator, and we have 12 computers to serve people just like we do out of our physical sites. So thank you so much for your support.
Video said exactly what I feel, and I remember meeting you the first time, and I still have to feel that passion. So thank you for the award. It's really unnecessary, but if it brings light to the programs of what you guys do, we're here.
Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida is proud to present our 2019 Breakthrough Volunteer of the Year, Janice Smith. Janice Smith moved from Massachusetts to Southwest Florida 13 years ago to be near her daughter Michelle. When Janice first arrived, Michelle would take her along for outings with her friends. But in time, Janice felt she needed something of her own. It was her love of Christmas that drew her to Goodwill's Festival of Trees back in December of 2011. And she's been a Goodwill volunteer ever since.
It's just a lot of fun. I enjoy Christmas. I love Christmas. So that it was a good niche for me. And but then as the years went on, I became friendly with the people, and whatever, it just became more and more that I wanted to do and help out with Goodwill. Like each little, it was the Festival of Trees and it was something else, and whatever. But still, the Festival of Trees is my baby.
Over the years, her role at Festival of Trees expanded from tree angel and tree fluffer to helping get the trees wrapped for delivery. Knowing the tree raffle supports Goodwill's programs and services for people with disabilities and disadvantages was a nice fit with Janice's desire to help others. She says through her volunteerism, she discovered what Goodwill's mission is all about.
Thinking about people's disadvantages, I guess, and in employment and being able to find affordable housing or whatever is kind of, it's just a heart thing for me. But one of the things that I hadn't realized, and as part of Goodwill, just being part of the Tree Festival as a fun thing, I was also asked one time to help serve at a breakfast, I think it was, and at that time there were videos about the services offered by Goodwill, and I think that's really what opened my eyes to the fact that there's job training and housing, and that I never really knew that Goodwill did, and so that then it really became I guess a marriage of sorts of my desires, but I'm just amazed at what it is that Goodwill does offer in the community to people who are disadvantaged.
In addition to volunteering with Goodwill and being such a great advocate of Goodwill's mission, Janice is also a big fan of the retail stores. Much of her Christmas decor was purchased at Goodwill.
As I said, I don't like shopping, but I like shopping at Goodwill because it's just such diversified stuff, and the price is right, so that you just really feel like, wow, I really scored this time,
Thank you, Janice Smith, for your help and your heart.
At this time, we'd like to bring up our friend and our supporter, Janice.
Well, I'm humbled and honored for the recognition, and as I said, it started out being fun, and it's still fun, so thanks very much. Thanks, Miss.
Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida is proud to present our 2020 Breakthrough Frontline Professional, Sherry Clark. For 10 years, Sherry Clark has worked at the Pine Manor Neighborhood Center as a Neighborhood Resource Specialist, a position funded by Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida. An 8-year veteran and single mom of 2 children, one with a disability, Sherry is passionate about making a difference. She even has a motto.
I'm a one-stop shop for anything and everything my client needs. If I can't help them, my firm can. So I help people apply for food stamps, unemployment, job searches, and resume writing.
Pine Manor is an area with low-income households and high needs. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Sherry has been on the front lines providing support for the community.
Because of COVID, they have lost their jobs. They're struggling to pay their bills, struggling to feed their kids. Kids going out of school was huge. That's why I was adamant about being a grab-and-go site for the neighborhood, because the closest grab-and-go site was across US 41, and to have the kids walk across 41 just wasn't a good thing. A lot of the people that come up to get food walk here, and so it just made sense to me.
Sherry served over 3,000 meals in April alone, and another 2,500 in May. But that was just part of her days. She also provided much-needed support helping the community fill out applications for assistance.
Helping them apply for food stamps if they've lost their job and they couldn't qualify for food stamps before because they had made too much money. Now they qualify because they don't have any money. So making sure that they get their food stamps and making sure that they can apply for unemployment, even though unemployment's also a struggle.
Most recently, Sherry has been inundated with requests for help with Lee Care applications, as well as assisting the homeless with housing provided by both Fort Myers and Lee County housing authorities. She feels it's important to be able to provide a hand up to help people become more independent.
We provide culinary training here so people can learn how to work in a restaurant. We have a community garden here so that people can learn how to grow their own food so they don't have to struggle to buy that fresh produce at the grocery store. And then we also teach them how to cook it.
We are proud to have Sherry Clark as a member of the Goodwill family.
Goodwill is helping others, and so is Pine Manor. So it's just a perfect meld.
When we think about Sherry, the words commitment, passion come to the forefront of my mind. She's been an honor. It's been an honor for us. It's been a privilege as well to work with somebody that cares so much about the community that she works in. She's changed lives dramatically. When I talked about the Lee Cares applications, I don't know how many, hundreds, thousands that she processed. Countless hours and long evenings, and she deserves this. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank my family. I brought both my sons here today. Even though my youngest is in middle school, he gets to skip school for a little bit. So you can see what his mama does. I'd like to thank the board for Pine Manor. I have Bob Smith, Pat Russell, and Valerie Custodi here from the Pine Manor board. They are huge backups for me to support me and help me do what I got to do, as well as Goodwill, being a helper and supporter. I love to work with people. When you grow up, everybody says, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm doing what I want to be when I grow up. I love to help people, and that's my job. Thank you.
So how do we all feel? Pretty good? I know Sherry's at 2020, but we couldn't let this award ceremony go by without recognizing everything that she's done. You know, we just can't ignore that, the impact she made. It just sort of was thrust upon us to like move into action. On a personal note, I do want to say I want to thank our leadership team, our board of Goodwill, our operations team, our retail, marketing, everyone, because we all didn't know what to expect at all when April, March came around. And it really struck me that for the first time, you know, we had to shut down all of our Goodwill stores at the same time. Like, we've had hurricanes and maybe 1 or 2 were shut down, but the impact of having all of our stores shut down at the same time and the reality of what that meant, it meant that we weren't going to be able to generate funds to do all the wonderful things that you just saw here. So we had to move into action. And what I'd like to point out, and I know Fred had said it, and I know John said it, we did move into action. You know, we may have closed our doors, but we kept our mission services open. We kept as much as we could keep open so that we can keep going and moving forward and doing what we need to do to support the community. And I'm just so proud, you know, to be a part of an organization that saw through that challenge and moved forward. So I just want to thank, you know, John and Doug, and our leadership team, everyone, operations, Michelle. You know, we collected donations, not just to collect donations, we had to collect donations. Because when everybody was at home, guess what they did? They wanted a house clean, okay? So we were a necessary service. And that we were, and we were prepared to do that, and our operations team and our transport, they just went into action without question. So I just want to I wanted to say that from my heart. Thank you everybody for that. Working together as a team. I want to congratulate once again all of our award winners, our community partners. We really can't do what we do without our community partners, everybody that steps up, that helps us in any way that they can. I promise you I did not pay Janice to say everything that she said, but she pretty much said everything in a nutshell. And I'm just very, very grateful. I do want to say thank you to Deborah Donato over there because she did all the videos in-house. Saved us some money. So these are the important things. We do what we need to do, and I'm so glad everybody is here. Okay, I know we want to wrap this up, but I do want to say one more important thing. Also in your packet there is a sheet that says opportunity. It's a little pledge pamphlet there. You know, if you look at it later, if you look at it now and you decide, I want to, you know, give something a little extra, a little stretch gift, if you want to take it to a neighbor and say, you know, listen, I found out some great things that Goodwill did. Even if you've known us for years, I'm sure you've learned something today that you didn't know that we did. Really look at it, think about, you know, what you'd like to give from your heart. I promise you it's going directly into the programs and services and the people that we serve, like Jonathan and Leighton, and there's just, you know, thousands of other people like our graduates and our Achievers of the Year, and so we really want to continue to make an impact. We have over here our newest member of our team, Ashley, and, you know, if you feel so moved today and you want to, you know, speak with her about, you know, how can I help Goodwill? I encourage you. Yes, she's wearing a red jacket, but that's okay. But maybe she did that so that you can see her easily. But you know, feel free to introduce yourself to Ashley. And again, thank you all for being here this morning. Have a great rest of the day. We're going to get through 2020, and we look forward to seeing everybody next year. Thank you.